Remember hot mic.
Hot mic.
All right. Well, good morning. It's still morning. It's still morning. Wait, which one's your coffee? This is yours.
I think that one is.
This is yours. This
I
is
don't have
mine.
cooties though, so it's fine.
Well, good morning from the 23rd. 23rd World Petroleum Congress here at the George R. Brown Convention Center here in Houston, Texas. The first time it's been held here in over 34 years or something like that. And before we begin, I want to say thanks for everyone tuning in. Energy Crew's been was asked to be a media a partner or something like that. I think it's media partner.
Media partner.
That sounds right.
The sign actually says media partners over there, so you know.
Oh, there you go. So so it's asked to be a media partner. So I'm happy to be here, and already saw one familiar face. I get to see this guy, so it's not a bad day. Pretty good day so far. And before we continue, I want to say tomorrow is the American Shale premiere from a Digital Wildcatters. They have Toby Rice and also Larry Grimes, I think, a dairy farmer, and they're going to go over kind of how the oil and gas help the farming industry. And there's going to be a live Q&A after, so be sure to register for that. Check out the Digital Wildcatters page to check out that and tune in for that. So we are here this morning. So I'm going to give you my initial reactions from this. Okay, so yesterday I couldn't come. We had the little one. And, I kind of heard there was, I didn't talk to many people about this, but coming in here today, I parked right across the street. There was a lot of parking that was available. And walking in, it seems kind of, unfortunately, it seems pretty, maybe it's early in the day, maybe people are in the speaker series or something like that, but it seems like the foot traffic really isn't here. And I think a lot of it is pretty much due to the new Omicron. So apparently there was like over 10,000 people registered to come.
I heard 12,000.
12,000 people. I heard 13.
And now it's down to 3,000 or 4,000.
So pretty much a lot of numbers dropped. Okay, probably because the Omicron or whatever that's looking like.
Well, you had several oil ministers from across the world, especially the Middle East, that were planning on coming here. And when they decided not to come, I think you saw a drop off.
That's when it happened?
Yeah.
That sucks, too, because, I mean, so walking around here, I mean, obviously I haven't walked around much. I just stopped at the Chevron place. Why did we stop at Chevron?
Because they had the best coffee.
So
I had 37 espressos yesterday.
I think it's extremely important to source the best coffee, source the best bar. You know what I mean? Source the best giveaways at these events like this.
Well, I got here at 9:30 in the morning yesterday. I didn't even know they weren't even open yet, so I had to do the back door.
When they open?
And I was here until 6, and I literally made about 100 laps around, talking to everybody, trying to meet meet anybody I could meet. And I had every booth's coffee, because every booth has their own little barista.
So it's a good reason to hang out. Grab a couple.
Absolutely.
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry, Justin. Justin, why don't you introduce yourself? We've been talking about. Probably should introduce yourself, Justin. Go ahead.
Justin Brignac with Oilify, VP of Business Development, and we're a little startup company, and we are actually presenting in the Innovation Zone sponsored by ConocoPhillips. Our technologies made the finalists for new best technology.
Really?
So we're presenting in.
I'm just fixing the camera, everyone. So I'm just fixing the camera. I'm listening. I'm listening to this. I want to bring it in closer so they can see your smile.
Oh yeah. I'm low energy, so you gotta get this thing as close as possible.
No, yeah, with 37 espresso shots.
That's right.
So is that better? Yeah, it's a little bit better. So all right, so you're here yesterday, walking around. So real quick, let's get back to your introduction real quick. Let's get back to Oilify real quick. So startup company. And go on about. So what's your involvement here again?
So ConocoPhillips, the first time ever, there is a sponsored innovation zone. So like new technologies.
Okay.
And they had, I think, 300 or 400 applications, and they took the top 20 and said, okay, these are the top new technologies we want to hear from, and you get a 15-minute spot to present in their nice, fancy, huge
auditorium
zone area.
Pretty much public speaker's worst nightmare.
I don't know, maybe.
So let me ask you a question. Why do you think that your technology? First off, give a little elevator spiel about y'all's technology real quick.
So we are a artificial lift, mainly the moment rod lift technology company. I told you it's the best.
Really good coffee.
I know it's the best. I went like back to this same one like 10 times. They knew me, like, flat white whole milk, right? Yeah, that's me.
And I still don't have an MSA with them.
I still don't understand. No, Chevron's run a couple now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so artificial lift.
So artificial lift technology company. And long story short is we felt like rod lift technology is kind of old school. And, it's rod lift's been around for 100 years, and we felt the advances in rod lift have not been great.
Okay.
A little twist here, a little twist there, a little
You're kind of tweaking it, but as far as technology, nothing really
we wanted to
introduced.
wipe the slate clean and start from scratch.
Okay.
And so, if you know about rod lift, there's the big four-step pumping unit at the top.
Yep.
Well, below the surface, there's probably about 7 to 10 different kind of components you can run, and every single one of those components can be a limiting factor in how you produce. Whether the rods can't produce because it's too deviated. There's too deviated a well, so the rods break all the time. So you have a lot of work over, so the well is not economical to produce anymore. Or there's too much gas interference. Or
and before we just go back and just kind of keep on just replacing the rods, whatever, that's it.
Working over all the time, and either the well's either economical or it's not, or it's economical, but it could be much more economical. So what we have done is we have patent spending on we're replacing, and we've redesigned every single part of the system. From thermoplastic rods to a new gas separator to a millable thermoplastic parts down hole, which lowers the risk immensely for these expensive fishing jobs. And so our whole system worth of designs are what got us in the innovation zone.
So, why do you think that y'all were selected for the innovation zone? Is this exciting in the artificial lift arena? What's going on?
Well, it's a big deal because, well, first of all, if you looked at all the other presenters, that are all either data or carbon recapture, and that's great, and that certainly has a place, and that these are all buzzwords that I'm talking about here.
Love buzzwords. Buzzwords are huge in our world today.
We can also say buzzwords too, thermoplastics, lower carbon footprint,
which
is a big deal. But the reality is that we're the only one that I think one of the only ones that apply that actually gets you more oil. Do you like money? I like money.
That's what we got to do. Get more oil to the surface.
Cheaply, efficiently.
Yeah. Okay.
With fewer workovers, and so we're the only company up there that has anything to do that actually gets you more production.
So when you're talking to, because obviously you don't have to spill everything here, but when you're talking to customers about this new technology and about this new artificial lift process, whatever it is, the technology, equipment, whatever that is, how are you kind of getting them to cross that finish line to because as you said, there's been no innovation for the past 100 years. Mm-hmm. So
well, I mean, there's there's been some newer separators that guessers do well, but
as far as overall, so how are you introduced? I remember when I was at Noble Drilling when we had I forget what it was called. It was like the derrick that looked like pretty much a cigar, and I remember we were building on. I feel like we were building on spec. I may not be right, but getting customers to trust new, innovative stuff that broke the paradigm on how people normally operate. It was a difficult challenge because there's a lot of like, oh, well, I'm gonna wait till they use it. Then I'm gonna test that. So how are you getting them kind of cross the line to accept and be comfortable with this new kind of this new shifting in technology?
Well, first of all, our results speak for themselves. When I show you IPR curves of where the production line was going, and now where it's flattened off and looks great, you get all that extra production.
Yeah.
Your book of reserve looks a lot better now. That's a difference maker. But the reality is that our CEO, our COO, and now me getting trained, we believe we're not just selling you a tool. When I go into an office, I'm saying, what are your limitations? What are your issues? What are your wells doing that are stopping you from producing more? I'm asking production questions, not just saying, here, buy our stuff.
Yeah.
And
we're solving
problems, and we're not offering you a separator. We're offering you better results. We're offering you money
to make more money.
We're saying, do you want to make more money? And we don't say, hey, just here's make more money. We're saying, well, what's your rate of return? Like, if this pays off in 6 weeks, does that make your boss happy? Because you have to sell it to your boss and say, hey, we're spending 10 extra grand for this, but when does it pay out? If it pays out in 6 months, then forget it. Don't get it. I mean, no one's happy.
And at time right now, that's probably pretty enticing.
That's what it has to be. Well, because if it doesn't make financial sense, then no one's going to do it.
Yeah.
But if I say, well, how much oil are you making? Okay, we usually see a 20, 30, 40% increase based on your oil cut. That's going to pay out in 4 days. No brainer.
Yeah. I mean, it pays for itself. Yeah.
And it does, and it pays out for itself. Or have somebody say, hey, look, how about you just pay us when it's paid for itself? And that's usually within 30 days anyway. So I mean, how
Win-win-win.
often you can build within 30 days anyway. I mean,
So what kind of so you're doing this? Obviously, it's a new technology. It's state of the art, I guess. I like using state of the art. It's kind of a '90s term. You know what I mean? Cutting edge, if you will, the razor's edge, if you will. Are you finding other competition kind of trying to emulate kind of what y'all are doing?
No.
Really?
No,
okay.
No one. Well, we patented this thing, applied patent about 100 different ways.
Okay.
No one can really, and it's so complete. Our separator, the first marketable product we have, is so uniquely different than anything in the market. There's just no way to copy without being like, that's exactly like the whale shark.
Dude, what's your back? Like, I've known the Breaknecks for years. Okay, your brother actually got me introduced to Bubba Smith when I first started off in sales and all that stuff. And this is kind of the first, I think, honestly, because of COVID or something like this is kind of the first year that you and I have actually started hanging out and talking a little bit more and kind of chatting all stuff. And I still kind of don't know your Actually, I do, but maybe they don't. What is your background?
I'm just a high energy guy.
Just a high energy guy.
I get around.
So where were you before this? How about that?
So my quick synopsis: Weatherford for about 7 years.
Okay.
Baker Hughes, Schlumberger, all in all about 10 years.
So you've been at the big shops.
I've done it. Well, I mean, somebody's got to work there.
No, those spit out really solid people, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whenever you see people leave there, I mean, they're pretty well-rounded, sharp cats.
I still know great guys that are at Weatherford. I still know.
Oh yeah,
great guys.
Jason Stewart. We're gonna get him on a little bit.
Right.
That's
nice
right.
Guy, I just met him.
So he's a great guy. But okay, all right. So started off all those, and now so how long you been over here for?
About 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah, about 9 months, and the company's not much older than that. And the original idea was for me to come on straight away, but I'm pretty expensive and I get babies, so I couldn't do the whole no pay right away thing.
Oh no, you can't.
But I kept it professional, waited my time, and once we got the current deal we have with our strategic partner, Q2 Artificial Lift, nice shout out. We were able to pay me full time, and now I'm here. Now we're kicking butt, and now we're in every basin in the country, and and we've had customers in all over the country that if gas separation was your biggest limitation, we've had kinds of double production, double gas, double oil.
That's gonna feel great too. Whenever you get at this new technology, whenever you actually are your buy-in is there, right? Mm. Obviously, because you're seeing it, you're a part of it. But whenever you're talking to other people and all that stuff, obviously there's some sort of trust, buying, all that stuff. But that's got to feel so great, like the fact that you're not just selling a piece of equipment or a technology. You're actually you're seeing results come through, which that's got to be kind of fulfilling, I'd imagine.
Yeah, one of my buddies in Denver, I texted him and I said, "Hey man, how's the first install doing? It's been a couple weeks. Make sure it's not just flush production, the first initial kick, And he sent me a graph of their production, and it was literally their actual production numbers, and it literally was double gas and double oil. And I was like, "Is that flush production?" He's like, "No, that's not flush production. That's legit. We went from an average of 60% pump fillers to about 85, 90, and we're getting a double oil."
So you're seeing gas. That, and you're hell yes, brother.
Thank God.
That's good.
Because realistically, you get one shot with a customer, and we've had, and that was actually their second. And their first one they'd run, and we never promised to be you're guaranteed double production. We said we know we're the least limited. So if you already weren't that limited, you might only get a 5 or 10% increase, which may still pay out in good time.
It's still not bad.
But the reality is, we're trying to find those and say, look, if you're okay with only 5%, that's great. But you need to be aware of that. That's all you're limited by. And so getting a really good discussion with the production engineer and finding out what their limitations are on whole, so when they buy it, there's no false hopes of we're gonna get the 30%,
55% increase, whatever that is.
Being realistic, and that's so key in today's sales cycle, because it's so easy to go in there and be seen as the salesman instead of being seen as a problem solver.
Yeah,
and you always have to be realistic. You always have to be honest and realistic and genuine, because people see through the lies, they see through the BS. And if you're honest and genuine and you give realistic results and expectations, then the lagniappe is double. We weren't expecting that.
What is that? Under promise, over deliver.
That's right.
But I mean that's true though. I mean you're talking about transparency. You're talking about trust. You're talking about being genuine with someone. And if you can't help them out, just let them know. Hey, look, I probably couldn't help you out anyway.
I had a guy say, "Hey man, we did some gas interference." I'm like, "Okay, well, what's your oil cut?" He's like, "We're making about 3 barrels of oil a day." I'm like, I mean, look, if your boss is gonna let you buy that's great. But I mean, I can't promise a rate of return, but more 5 months probably. So that's up to you, man. But I probably wouldn't do that.
This is not normally this long of an investment, but I guess it is for y'all.
Yeah. But with we do have other benefits. Fewer rod failures, better consistency, better reliability. With better consistent production and fillage, you don't have compounding rods and things like that. It's just better. It's better in your system long term. And so we have some customers, they might only get 5 or 10% more, but they see a very consistent production, and they see that as a win long term because they know that reliability is going to be there long term, and they're willing to play the long game and for the win. So there's also that.
I dig that. So
yeah.
Oh, well, I like that. So again, everyone, this is Justin Brigham. You can obviously contact him on LinkedIn, and if everyone's watching right now, this is pretty much unscheduled. So I'm not sure how many people's watching or that, but there's gonna be some residual watching out there.
240 G. That's a record.
700 million. There's more people watching this than at the conference right now. Oof. No, I'm kidding. There's a pretty good turnout. So let's talk about the conference right now. Okay. So the first time in Houston first time in America in over 30 years and all that stuff. Over 10 to 12,000 people were registered. Supposed to be registered. Yeah. However, some people started backing out because of the new variant. What is this? What is this new? What is the new variant's going to slow down all this stuff? Because every conference for the past 2 years, it's always like you're always so pumped to go, and next thing you know, it's just like people pull out, people don't attend.
I think they heard this was going to happen, and they were jealous, and they're just like, well, we got to pump out a new variant here. We got to slow these guys.
We got to slow down
the roll.
The fossil fuel industry.
That's right.
Yeah. The organic earth industry.
Hopefully the next variant doesn't come out right before Christmas. The Decepticon variant.
That'd be pretty good. The Decepticon variant. So great booths here. Seems like a lot of cool stuff. I came in, I walked in, which is kind of scary.
I think Saudi Aramco has like a half yacht over there. It's ridiculous. It looks like a yacht.
So I just came in, peeled over here, stopped at Weatherford, went over to Chevron to get this delicious Brazil coffee, and we came here to this booth, and this is the only locked-in booth, and I feel kind of cool right now. I don't know how I get this, but I'm digging this stuff.
So cool, JP?
I'm not. I just
I fake it till I make it. You have the nicest booth in here.
Yeah, my wife makes me cool. But the thing is, though, I mean, in reality, I mean, there's a lot of cool shit here. I mean, there's some cool technology, cool displays.
These booths were like, I think I talked to the ExxonMobil guy, and they said their booth was like $150,000.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's unfortunate too, because I mean, all these companies obviously are spending big chunks of change, and it's not just this conference. It's pretty much a lot of conferences out there. Big chunk of change. And the fact you're not getting the foot traffic from the customers that you want, or maybe the decision makers that you need to see, and all that stuff. We'll wrap up.
No, you're fine. We present in about 45 minutes.
45 minutes? Yeah, we'll be done way before that. I mean, if the fact that we're almost talking about carpet right now, because I do want to get into that.
Dude, the carpet in the Chevron booth, like walking on clouds.
That was
right?
smooth.
I can't know how much that carpet costs, but I need it in my house.
So it's beautiful here. Tons of great. I mean, all the majors are here. You're seeing, and what's surprising too. I mean, but the thing was different about this conference that I'm seeing, you're seeing the operators have booths as well, which is interesting.
Yeah, you're seeing the big push because what you have is all these oil ministers. You have all these oil ministers.
Yeah.
The top dog from every country come here, and they want to hear the buzzwords. And so what you're seeing is all these BP,
carbon
Chevron,
capture.
They're talking about what they're doing, how they're doing their part to save the planet, and all the carbon recapture stuff, and how they're going less carbon footprint and all these things.
Okay, question. There should be a 23rd World Petroleum Congress game right now. So whenever I'm talking to someone, okay. What 5 buzzwords should people listen to? And if you're at home listening, crack, and you have to take a sip every time you hear what? ESG, carbon,
data. I talked to 50 companies yesterday. It was either carbon recapture,
data, ESG.
We get data. We're a data company.
Okay.
So what software? We just get data. Well, how do you get the data? You give it to us.
There's a lot of data out there that we get.
So basically, we give you data. You make a spreadsheet for us. Thanks. That's a great company model.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. That's great. I'm the people person.
But how do you get the data, Justin?
From the people.
For your tool.
From you. From the people.
Because they give it to us. We don't need a spreadsheet on it. We know what's going on.
So data's a huge buzzword. That's kind of going on.
Carbon recapture.
ESG.
Carbon footprints.
Energy transition.
Oh yeah.
So all these buzzwords, if you're at home and you're
I'm already wasted.
Yeah, just so I think that should be the new thing. I wish I had a little dinger up there, going, ding, you know what I mean, so people can start doing.
What we're doing is that we heard the Canadian minister last night, and she was really good. And then they had, I guess it was somebody else who couldn't make it, and he gave a letter to a guy to read. And the guys that were reading, he's like, And we're here working on lower emissions and blah, blah. And everyone's like,
That's awkward.
it was so bad.
That's
People
awkward.
started talking over him. It was really awkward. It was so terrible.
How about we talk about like what matters, like efficiencies, plays, market outlook.
This wine and beer is really good.
Yeah.
I had a lot of wine last night.
You did? So look, this thing.
Oh yeah, the robot dog.
So if anyone's scared of Terminator 2 like I am,
Boston Dynamics.
yeah, Boston Dynamics is here, and I'm going to turn the camera here. This is pretty cool. Actually, come on. Let's walk and talk.
Let's give people a show.
Yeah, hey, we're going to give you all a show right now. Justin and I are going to go walk and talk. Here, hold this. Actually, I'm going to make it real awkward. I want you to just hold it while I grab this.
Hello, world.
Isn't it awkward? It's so awkward. It's never your best. I don't know. It's never your best angle too. But I want to go check out this dog out real quick. Thank you, sir. Okay. Oh, can this thing lock? There we go.
There we go.
All right. Walk.
We're rolling. Let's go.
Can you? All right, but we got to act like we've done this before.
We have done this before.
Okay. So we're walking and talking, and we're about to. I don't know if I can flip it. I don't know if I can. Can I flip it?
Maybe.
No, I can't. All right. So.
Good to see you, man.
Come on, brother. How are you?
Good. I came Sunday and I saw your booth, and my booth was right next to yours, and I set it up, and I came yesterday, the booth was gone. They freaking moved it down there. It scared the shit. It was like, what? How do you report somebody stealing a booth?
You have to call there's police. Call Boston
All over the
Dynamics.
place, yeah. Good seeing you.
See you later. See you a little bit. All right, so we are in front of this Robo Dog.
Yeah, it's called Spot.
So pretty much this Boston Dynamics, aka Skynet. Have you ever seen that Black Mirror episode when they put these on the people? Oh, it's pretty cool. All right, so this thing's been walking around here. I walked in and I saw it. It's not moving right now because it's trained to sit still, to stand still.
Good dog.
Anyway, I thought it'd be walking, but it's not walking right now. Hey, so Justin, what's your biggest fear with something like this?
With this thing?
Yeah.
That I don't have an EMP blast gun to shoot down.
So that's very Call of Duty action of you. Would this?
I don't know.
So would this be a? I mean, I wonder if you can train this to go get birds, like a bird dog. You know what I mean?
Good.
I mean,
it's just remote control for right now. But I tell you what's really cool is that in the NASA booth they have the new bomb human thing where they go and it's able to go and defuse bombs.
really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wait, is someone inside of it? Or
No. They can control it, but it gives them the ability to like send this robot over there and they can see like
VR.
VR goggles through the robot and actually like defuse the bomb.
Dude, we're living in the future right now. All right, we're going back in. I thought this thing would be walking around, but it's not.
Where's the remote? Oh, here.
All right, I think Justin's working his magic.
Oil and gas. Sure.
Sales right there, Mr. Sales. All right, bad pup. That's awesome. Thank you. Does it have a name? Spot? You always got to ask the name. Always ask the robots. So it's just like, so honestly, that stuff scares. Yeah, I know. What website? Don't worry, no one's watching, buddy. No one's watching, dude. Don't worry about it.
I don't even go on there anyway.
Yeah, no one's watching. So,
We're live on Jake's break. Something could happen, I swear.
all right, let's go grab our seat again. Okay, so first off, that stuff, I don't know it's because I'm an 80s kid or whatever like that, but we'll move it like this. But, from Terminator and all that stuff, that stuff's, so that's why I asked the thing's name. So my wife, whenever she asks like, hey, Google, can you do all that stuff? Like, she'll like thank Alexa. She'll thank the thing. She's like, you never know.
I suppose that's
true. I mean, yeah. worried about
What's
Spot.
I
feel like
iRobot with the
yeah, I feel like Spot's like listening to us and he's like communicating back to like Skynet.
When you first came over, he actually moved towards you.
I know, my bro. Don't sneak up on it.
Calm this thing down, guys.
I'm an '80s kid. You know what I mean? I don't want to see no robots come at me. But anyway, that thing's scary as shit. I love it. Anyway, so all right, so what else? So were you about to go? What else? That kind of threw me off. So what else? What else are we talking about? There's a lot of good carpet here. I'm excited to walk around, kind of check everything out. So, anything else you want to say to anyone out there?
No, just we're excited to present here in about 45 minutes our technology stuff, and
So how can people? Oh, real quick, how can people find you?
I mean, it's pretty hard to miss me.
And I guess your company. How about that?
So oilify.com. My information's at the bottom. Justin Brignac. I try and be all over LinkedIn as possible because I mean I'm a one-man show. I mean, I'm an only American employee.
And so there's also a happy hour, a social event, something like that. That's tonight.
Yeah, at the Rustic downtown.
At the Rustic downtown, it starts at 6 to 11.
6 to 11. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Okay.
But you have to have a badge to get in.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well, if anyone's out there, I don't know. I don't tell you.
But next week, Midland, there's the SB Ugly Sweater Christmas party on
Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
Are you gonna be there Thursday?
I'm gonna be there Thursday for the Sabata Christmas party Thursday night.
Well, I'm gonna be there for the Crew Club informal meet and greet social. Why don't you swing on by to that?
I will also do that.
I don't know where it's gonna be at though. I don't know. I haven't picked that up.
Just bring it to the Sabata Christmas party.
I'm just like a horrible.
Brian McDowell, awesome guy. Talk to him.
I've been a horrible planner about this thing. I'm flying to Oklahoma on Tuesday to do a Crew Club, and honestly, what I'm expecting is kind of informal meet and greet. So
yeah,
that. And then Dallas Wednesday, and I'm going to Midland on Thursday.
All right, man, getting around. I like it.
I'm getting around. Got to do that.
Hey, that's how we're making a living. I'm our only American employee. So if you've heard about Wellshark and Oilify in America,
you're the only American employee?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that why you're rocking that cowboy hat?
No, this is the Calgary White Hat Club.
Okay.
They just liked me and gave me a white hat. So.
I dig that. So, anyway, Justin, I want to thank you for coming on, being the first person on the Energy Crew live at the 23rd WBC. And I'll be honestly, if you want to see when this is going live, make sure you subscribe to JP Warren YouTube channel because I'll be probably walking around and kind of having some random BS conversations and some important conversations that discuss ESG, carbon, energy transition, and data. So make sure you subscribe to that so you get alerts.
Where do you get your data from?
I get my data everywhere.
I can get you the data.
I get my data literally everywhere. So we'll talk about that off camera because my data is very personal. So all right, everyone, thanks for tuning in, and Justin, thanks for stopping by, brother. And we're still live. All right, talk to y'all later. Thanks so much. We gotta do the awkward.